Hi, I'm Paul Cruz, I'm lead trainer at Flume Training. So we're about 7 or 8 weeks into this crisis, and a question that we're getting asked more than ever is, how do I close opportunities? So in this short video, I want to share with you a 5-step guide to closing during the crisis. So look, before we get into the 5 steps, it's worth considering why it is so much harder to close the opportunities that we do have out there at the moment. And the best way to do that is to step out of our shoes and into the shoes of a client and work out what's going on with them. So there's 3 reasons. Number 1, our clients understandably continue to be very risk averse. They don't want to be seen to make a mistake, and they don't want to be seen often as the person within their organisation who's keen to spend money at this time. Number 2 is all around the wider decision-making group. Now, we know that over recent years, on average, the number of people involved in any B2B decision, buying decision, has been growing, and it stands at around sort of 7 or 8 people on average. Now, here at Flume, we don't know whether decision-making groups are getting even bigger during the crisis, but what we are hearing a lot from marketers is that increasingly they're having to get any spend signed off at a much more senior level, and that's making their life way more difficult. The third thing going on, and it's kind of based on those previous 2 things, is that more than ever our clients need a watertight internal business case for any spend right now. So look, those are the 3 reasons why it's harder for our client to get things signed off internally. So let's look at those 5 steps, what we can do differently to make it as easy for them as possible. So the first bit is all around personal buying. We are going to require our main point of contact to work really hard to get this thing signed off. So we need to find out and make sure that they are really bought into it. So let's ask them, you know, what's the benefit of this for you in your role and for the wider business? Are you committed to recommending it internally? Number 2 is all about understanding the decision-making process in its entirety. So find out from your contact, what are all the steps that we need to go through between now and ultimately getting this thing signed off. Number 3 is all about prioritising the first step on that process. So look, this whole sign-off process for our clients is going to be quite convoluted. It's going to be a lot of work for them, and they're probably super busy at the moment. So it's not particularly helpful for us just to hassle them. Is it signed off yet? Is it signed off yet? Rather, find out what the first step is, help them take that first step, and then you're making it much more likely that this whole process is going to build some momentum. Right, number 4, massively important. Find out from your contact the views of all of the other stakeholders involved in the sign-off process. Ask them who within the business is likely to really help us push this through. Who is likely to have concerns and be a blocker? How can we kind of change our proposal to make it as compelling as possible for everyone involved in the sign-off process? And then step 5 is all about brainstorming with your point of contact. How can you best work together to make this process as easy as possible? So 5 steps. Number 1, make sure you've got their personal buy-in. Number 2, make sure you understand the decision-making process in its entirety. Number 3, isolate and prioritise the first step in the sign-off process. Number 4, make sure you understand the views of all of the other stakeholders that are ultimately going to be involved. And number 5, work out how you and your contact can best work together to get this whole thing signed off. So 5 steps, I hope they're useful. Put them into practice. We'd love to get some feedback from you guys as to how it all goes. More videos to come from us, and you can follow us across all of our channels. Thanks.